Hello and welcome to Front Row Racing. It's time for the Front Row Racing PCS, the Project Cars Sundays League, round 9 at the Catalunya GP circuit. Could be a very interesting race this. Now we are on round 9 of 10 and the title could be decided here this evening. But before we get on to those kind of details, just introduce myself. I'm Front Row Racing DP, otherwise known as Dave Palin, really. I just realised it's not F1 today. And now I'll be doing commentary, joined by James Hulkenberg. How are you this evening, James?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Looking forward to this.
Are you all ready for jetting off to Australia to see the missus and have her hands on you instead of your own?
Exactly. I've got my suitcase all sorted. Just need the travel insurance and I'm set.
Yeah, you definitely want that if you're going to Australia. Okay, on to this evening's event. Like I say, the title could be decided tonight. We've got Hesselden, who's on 140 points, and Live Bright, who is on 130. So there's 10 points between them, and it's 25 points for a win. So if Hesselden scores enough points, 15 or more, over Live Bright, he's got it in the bag. Dave the Harp in third place is on 103 points. He's still in with a shout, but only if he wins the race and the other two don't finish. But I'll go through the full standings in a few moments' time, because I reckon we're at about, excuse me, half past, or if not, a little later already. Okay, so I reckon we can send them off to the racetrack then, James. We've got a 15-minute qualifying session, a 5-minute warm-up, and then a 21-lap race around the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. The Ginetta G55 GT3s, and the drivers are only going to have this race and one more in these cars, and then for season 3 we'll switch over to the Aussie V8s, which will be a very interesting car for the drivers. So James, what are you expecting from sunny Spain here this evening?
Well, I'm expecting a lot of action down at turn 1, and I'm expecting that front left tyre to be dead in a few laps, seeing as the tyre wear around here. I did have just a little bit of an exploration, couple of laps, and then the front left and the rear left were going.
Yeah, given the nature of this circuit, it doesn't like tyres. Tyre saving is not really something the drivers are going to experience around here, which kind of begs the question, I mean, will any of the drivers go for the much harder compound of tyre in the hope of doing less pit stops? Or will they just think, you know what, let's go for the softer tyre, faster lap times, but perhaps more pit stops?
Sorry to be an utter moron and not know the outcome of the last race. Who was the winner of the last race? Was that Live Bright?
It was round 8 at the Nürburgring Sprint Circuit. Live Bright took the victory, taking 25 points. GT Gavin was second and Hesselden was third, who scored 16 points, with GBM Beardy 4th, Neotig 5th, Dave the Harp 6th, Driver Montana 7th, Chris Court 8th, Jason 9th, Lielmo McElroy 10th, Adam 4600 11th, Jonesy 12th and Woolhouse 13th.
Well, I seem to remember Live Bright telling us in the podium chat after the race the tyres he selected were the mediums at the last race, and that will give him just a bit of extra pace, a little bit of extra grip compared to the hards. And they said that they weren't too bad on tyre wear. Now, I haven't tried the mediums around this circuit, and they may work a treat, they may be not compatible. You may want to go for the hard tyre. I think it's going to be I don't think you're going to want to go for the softs due to how aggressive the tyre is around here.
True. And something else that Live Bryce said after last week's race as well was that he hates this track. So
yeah, he wasn't feeling confident, were he?
Yeah, he himself is not feeling too comfortable about his chances here at this track. He is on a flying lap, as quite a few of the drivers already are. I mean, you say you've done a bit of a run around here. What sort of lap times do you think we'll be looking at for the guys here this evening?
Well, to be fair, I were running round on a pad, so my times were nowhere near comparable as to what these drivers are going to pump in. I think we're going to be looking at, I don't know, I'd have to see the first couple of laps and then give my assessment on whether it seemed like pretty much a hot lap or if it was a bit of a dog of a lap.
Or whether you were just really, really slow on the pad.
Well, it's very hard on the pad, I tell you. I don't know how they do it if they're driving on the pad on this game.
You know what it is? If you're a pad user on Project Cars and you just pick it up, like load the disc, pick it up and expect to be able to go quick, you won't. You do have to play around with the controller settings to get it so that it handles nice. As soon as you do that, yes, you can start going quick. And there are, on the Project Cars forums, there are links to wheel settings and pad settings. I mean, I did a lot of YouTube videos on my own YouTube channel for wheel settings. Now, that was when Project Cars sort of first came out, and I can imagine a lot of the settings may have changed now. But Live Bright, he's coming up to the start-finish line, and I just remembered at this circuit...
As well.
He has, he's only gone second though. At this circuit, we've got the horrible bloody camera angle that makes us look at the garage instead of the car going down the start-finish straight.
He's gone second, but he's only 2/10 behind Hesselden in P1 on a 44.9, so I'm reckoning if that's first go, if that's your banker lap, I think we may be heading for low 44s, maybe high 43s.
I mean, usually the lap times do come down. It doesn't look like we're going to be having any bad weather here in Spain, so really only tyre temperatures could be an issue, or tyre wear, but it takes the tyres a lap or two to really get up to temperature, so as long as the drivers don't overheat the tyre, the lap times should come down. Now I must admit, or not must admit, but I'll just quickly mention, obviously if you usually watch our Project Cars leagues, you'll notice that my voice is sounding a little bit different. I'm not very well at the moment, so if I suddenly start coughing and keel over and die, you know why. So yeah,
alright, I'll continue.
It's alright, we'll just put you on mute. I thought I talked a lot. Bloody hell, you talk more than I do. I don't know how your missus... now I know why your missus took the job in Australia. She needed the break.
Get away from me.
Do you do commentary? I mean, I'm having a shower, I'm washing my armpits, and in about 5 minutes' time, I'm going to be putting on some hard rubber and sorting you out.
Sound like Alan Partridge, yeah. It's very much like that. Every single day.
Yeah. Okay, Jason, he's coming up to the start-finish line. Currently in 12th place, no time set. So we'll see where he can position himself. It's 9th with a 1:47.650. Now, where's Dave the Harp? He's one that we usually like to go and have a look at where he is.
He's in the garage.
Somebody has dropped out of the session. Driver Montana, if you can send Driver Montana another invite.
Woolhouse's car looks like ISIS have had a go at it.
I think Woolhouse's car may have been lagging about a little bit, so yeah, I think it's battered a few barriers along the way. GT Gavin, I think he's just starting a new flying lap, or he's just posted one that's not gone quicker. Yep, he's backed off. Hesselden's down to 3rd. Live Bright has gone pole position with a 1:44.7, and GBM Beardy 2nd on a 1:44.8. So we'll see if Live Bright is going to continue on for this lap and see if he can improve his lap time. But Hesselden's been bumped down to 3rd place, and I tell you what, if Hesselden remembers that Live Bright said he doesn't like this circuit, if Live Bright goes and whacks it on pole position, that's going to grab Hesselden's attention. I mean, really, for the benefit of the championship, It'd be nice to have, let's say, Livebry win the race and Hesselden come third, 9-point gap closes, 1 point between them into the final round of the season. That would be very, very exciting for the final race.
Do you happen to think that Livebry may have been slightly lying when he said that he didn't like this circuit?
Well, you know what, at the time I didn't think he was, but it did cross my mind as I was saying it a moment ago, that maybe it was a little bit of sort of reverse psychology. Yeah, I don't like that track, I'm not very quick there. And then actually is. It may have made Hesselden think, you know what, I might not have to try too hard. Livebry did continue on, but didn't improve on his lap time. Hesselden at the moment, like I say, he's in third place. He's still got a fastest lap time of a 1:44.9. I tell you something that might be a bit of a factor, is it looks like we've got a little bit of cloud cover at the moment. So temperatures may have just dropped a little bit, which if that is the case, excuse me, could lead to a little bit of a lack of grip. Dave the Harp's in 5th place at the moment. Adam 4600 in 6th place, and quite fittingly his lap time is a 01:46.007. I reckon, Adam, you should not put any more laps in and just leave it on that time because it's fairly relevant. And I think he may have heard me because he's just spun it right in front of Hesselden as well. But nice of him to let Hesselden pass him there. Chris Cause in 7th place. Is he out on track? Yes, he is out on track. So, I'll tell you what, Chris has had some interesting races recently. I remember back to Bathurst, where he was kind of running up sort of 3rd, 4th place until he had a bit of a collision. But in a few of the races recently, he has been up there in position to score big points, but he's just had some rotten luck. Yeah.
And was it GT Gavin that was leading the race for the majority of the race on Nürburgring, and then he had them 2 moments of standing still?
Yes, he did. The invisible wall glitch. So he will be wanting to put that one right, shall we say.
Yeah. I think if that invisible wall glitch is not apparent around this circuit for him, then I think he'll be super strong as well.
He definitely could be. I mean, I can't say I've seen the invisible wall glitch appear around this track. Actually, no, I have. On one occasion. It tends to be, you know, on the circuits where there's different variations of the circuit. So, for example, as Chris Core crosses the line now and stays 7th, he's approaching a point where you've got a cut-off onto the other part of the circuit, and that's where an invisible... Well, on that circuit, there would be a barrier to sort of say, turn right. So sometimes you go onto the full circuit and all of a sudden that barrier invisibly appears. I know it's a bit contradictory, that, but I'm sure you know what I mean.
Yeah.
GT Gavin only in 4th place at the moment. Hesselden has improved, but only by a 10th. He's just leaving the pits again now. GBM Beardy, he's just improved on his lap time, but Livebry, he went and got his down to a 1:44.2.
Yeah, I did say low 44s, high 43s. I think it's going to... I don't think we're going to get... To be fair, I think this is probably going to be the limit.
Well, if Livebry goes out again, it would suggest that he thinks he can go faster. But at the moment, I was going to keep an eye on Woolhouse, who's in a similar coloured car to Dave the Harp, and hasn't managed to set a lap time yet, which could be a little bit frustrating for him. I mean, having said that, how did you find it on Friday at the Le Mans circuit? Okay, it was a 20-minute qualifying session, but it's about a 4-minute outlap.
Yeah, well, I think I was extremely frustrated when came around to finish my final flying lap, which had took me 8 minutes to do my outlap and then get right to the end of my first lap. in the final chicane went and blooming spun it, so that was 8 minutes down the Swanee. But yeah, no, actually when I hooked the final lap up, it felt good. It didn't feel super special, but it was just enough to put me in P2, which I was quite happy with.
Yeah. And then after that, it just all went bad, didn't it?
Oh, aye. It was absolutely. That would have to be worst performance ever in the PCS match.
And that's even taken into account the one where you crashed it on the first lap and retired.
Oh yeah, that were pretty much. That was pretty much the inevitability, but I think the biggest thing to come out of last season was, well, Davey App's connection. I don't think it faltered once.
No.
Man faltered once in the penultimate race, and I think Esselden, didn't he have about 3 disconnections through that season?
He did, yeah. I mean, Jason's just taken way too much corner on that particular lap. But yeah, I mean, Dave the Hart was probably the most consistent regarding connectivity throughout the whole of the PCF season. Adam 4600 still sat in 6th place at the moment. Has Live Bright gone out again? He did, but he's just gone and put himself back in the pits. I think he realises he hasn't got enough time to go and get another lap in. GBM Beardy currently sat in 2nd place. He is on another flyer.
Chris is just coming out final corner now. Let's see if he's going to improve 7th. Heading to the line. No. Jason's back in the pits. Neo Tig's on the lap. Let's see who else is on. Davey Art's on the lap. Just got a minute to get round and finish that.
I think Adam 4600 may be the next one to cross the line, or there might be a car just ahead of him. But we have got Adam 4600 and then Dave the Hart behind him. I think it'd be nice to see Adam go and stick it at the front end of the grid and have a good race.
I've got to say, it's probably been quite a shame for Adam. I mean, I don't want to blow smoke up his rear end, but last series in the PCS, he was so strong in them Janetta Juniors.
He was. Now, he did improve his lap time, but not his position. Dave the Harp stays at 5th place. And that is pretty much session over. GBM Beardy can't improve enough to catch Live Bry, who's going to take pole position.
I think it's going to be super strong between the top 4.
Well, we have seen a few of them have really horrible starts in some of the races, but Live Bright is on pole. GBM Beardy 2nd, Hesselden 3rd, GT Gavin 4th, Dave the Hart 5th, Adam 4600 6th, Chris Core 7th, Neotig 8th, Jason 9th, and Jonesy 10th. Okay, we're now into the 5-minute warm-up session. This is the part, just get their race setup sorted, get their fuel on board, get their tyres picked, and basically nip to the loo if they need to. Sort out everything they need to get in place before the race begins. But yeah, I mean, we have seen a few mixed fortunes at some of the starts in recent races. I mean, even Dave the Harp on Friday, for example, I mean, he started in 3rd place, but by the time we got to turn 1, I think he was down in 10th or 11th. It's quite possible that even Live Bright, who's on pole, by the time they get through turn 2, he might be nowhere near the front.
I think the main thing about last Friday's race, especially on the first lap, I had no to lose, so I was just absolutely going for it, but I knew if I wanted to take the title, I had to stay in P1, so it got a bit desperate on lap 2. But at the start, I got the perfect getaway, bolted as quick as possible. Probably the best start of the season, to be fair. I was in P1, heading down into turn 1. I think Dave may have just been erring on the side of caution, and the car behind obviously got a belting start and wasn't anticipating him to have such a sluggish getaway, and touched the back of him, and that was his race starting at the back at the end of lap 1.
I mean, one thing for the drivers is if they wait for the green light to come on, it's too late. They have to effectively anticipate that green light, so when the green light comes on, they're already in gear and the throttle's down, as long as they don't jump start it. But it's one of those where if you get it wrong and the guy behind you gets it right, you're going to feel like he's just rammed you, whereas he's going to feel like you just haven't moved. So yeah, the starts can be a little bit tricky. Just over 2.5 minutes to go of the warm-up session, and I don't know if I'm surprised that Hesselden's down in 3rd place. I mean, do you reckon he will be sat there now thinking, well, hang on, Lifebride did say he doesn't like this track, he's gone and put it on pole?
Well, Hesselden, to be fair to him, ever since his original T300 wheel broke, he hasn't seemed full on 100%. I do know that he's running on a T150 wheel, and it might just be getting used to that wheel, and obviously it's still a Thrustmaster, but with it being a different model, it might just have slightly different handling characteristics, so it might just be still getting used to that wheel.
Yeah. It will have very different handling characteristics. I mean, I did have someone ask me today, what wheel would I recommend as a starter? And I said, well, I'd always recommend the Thrustmaster T300. It is a good wheel, but it's not exactly cheap. But for a first-time wheel user, I have been hearing that the T150 is very good value for money. But to put it into perspective, the T150 has, if I remember rightly, one motor in it that deals with all the force feedback, whereas the T300 has 2 motors. So you get twice the feel, effectively. So if he's used to, say, a T300, and he's now on a T150, it will seem very alien. Whereas if you were on a T150 and you went up to the T300, yes, it would feel different, but it would feel better.
I don't know if this is a sign of things to come, but Livebride's going to pop in a 144.9. Now, if that's on high fuel, he's looking super strong.
Well, I've got a feeling we could be seeing him putting a damn good fight on here for the win. I mean, maybe because he knows he doesn't like this track, perhaps he's put in extra practice in that he wouldn't usually do, to sort of give himself a really good chance. If he wants a chance of winning the PCS title, he's got to beat Hesselden here. If he doesn't, his chances are pretty much done.
Hesselden maybe he's just tensing up, knowing that he's lost the PCF league down to disconnections out of his hands. And maybe he don't want the PCS going the same way.
It's possible, but that is an impressive lap time by Livebride there. Either that or he's conned you as he has the rest of the field. He's done a low fuel lap and he came back to the pits to put the fuel in. Quite possibly, but it is only what 5-6 tenths off his original lap time. Oh no, I've just noticed Neotic disconnected and Driver Montana has joined. Hopefully they've both managed to get back in.
Let's make a great start.
The lights are now on. It's about to go green and away they go. Heading down into the first corner. I think they all did manage to get back in. So it's going to get very, very busy.
Side. Title contenders Hesselden and Livebride side by side going down into turn 1. Hesselden going deep on the brakes, trying it all the way around the outside. Is he going to have it? Is Livebride going to hang it around the outside now? Who's going to have the inside for turn 3? Oh, this is strong, and Hesselden's running out wide, and Beardy's in there. He's having a bit of that. GT Gavin, is he going to be able to jump on the back of Hesselden into turn 4? Yes, he is.
He's not jumping on the back, he's diving up the inside. A nice, sneaky little move there.
Oh, and Chris is in here as well. Oh, this is going from bad to worse for Hesselden.
But it's going exactly to plan for Livebride. He's leading the race at the moment. And Hesselden's dropping places. Oh, Chris Core's just been given a little bit of a nudge. Nearly ended up in the gravel. I think Dave the Art may have had a bit of a poor start. I've not seen him yet in the top 6 or 7 cars. Oh, I think we've just had a collision. Jonesy and
Montana. It's going super slow.
Yep, you're right, it is. And Dave the Harp, he's had another bad start. He's down to 11th place. Okay, so Hesselden's in 4th.
Side-by-side action further down the field. I think it's Montana and Lee Elmore. Heading into this final section. Lee Elmore's up the inside. Has he gone a touch deep? No, he's managed to hold on to it. Montana's on the outside now. Who's this getting in here as well? It's Dave the Harp, he's up the inside. Oh, he's getting squeezed out. That's overly aggressive there. It's going to be a right bunch up now. Oh, Lee Elmore, that. Alongside Lee Elmore.
Well, we've got about 4 or 5 trying to, or even 6 or 7, trying to all fit on the same piece of road. A couple of them looking up the inside, but no, one of them's Randy.
Completely wiped. Yeah, Lee Elmore's completely wiped Montana out. Montana's come straight back onto the circuit.
It'd have been better off there just avoiding that corner altogether, going straight on, because what he's done there is just led to wiping out a couple of cars, and they won't be overly pleased about that one.
I think that's Wallauter's been hit, and he's completely lost power from his engine.
Yep, now Hesselden, he's trying to fight back now. He's all over the back. No, he's not. He's all up the inside, nearly, of GT Gavin 2, who's in 3rd place. And I think that could be Adam 4600 that's just behind these guys.
Yeah.
It is, followed by Chris Core. Oh, and it's still getting busy a little further behind them. We've got Jason in 8th. Okay, the camera angles are showing me. There we go. Lee Elmo McElroy and the battle behind.
Outside of Dave the Harp for P10.
Oh, Dave's kind of chucked it up the inside, but managed to get through without any major dramas. The thing is, this is a circuit where it's quite a long lap, but the lap can go quite quickly. So if you end up needing to pit for damage, you can very easily find yourself a lap down very early on. And it's not a situation you want to get yourself in.
Hesselden were just starting up a move on Beardy, but he's completely cocked up the last corner, and he's just lost about 8 car lengths there. He was right up behind him heading into that final corner.
Neotig.
We've got Lee Elmore, Neotig, Dave the Hart, and Montana in a bit of a train.
Well, I'll tell you what, Neotig's got fantastic straight line speed as 2 cars try and have a look up the inside of, I think it's the 10th place car there of Lee Elmo McElroy.
Have a look up the inside of Dave the Harp into turn 3. Dave the Harp's done the up and under, got him straight back. Now it's Dave the Harp versus Lee Elmo McElroy. We know there's a bit of paint been scraped between these two before in the past.
Well, this is a position where, for Dave the Harp, he really shouldn't be fighting for 9th, 10th and 11th. He should be up there fighting for 1st.
Yeah. His form of late in PCS has not been as strong as the first half of the season.
Definitely not. I mean, do you think a part of that could be that some of the drivers that have come in have been phenomenally quick, as they're nearly 3 wide? Oh, that's a corner you don't want to be 3 wide in, and thankfully they weren't. Right, let's have a look up the front. Let's see what we've got.
I'm pretty sure Hesselden's had a power boost penalty along with GT Gavin, which is why there's such a gap now between themselves and Beardy and Livebra. Beardy's catching Livebra. I think Beardy may have been sandbagging in that quali session, because I think he's got a decent run here out of the final corner. He may have a look into turn 1.
Although saying that, Livebra looks like he's got fantastic straight line speed, you know. Similar to Neotig, he was pulling away down the straight there. But maybe GBM Beardy, his car's set up to be better around the rest of the track, because this is one of those circuits where, yes, you want your car to be fast down that start-finish straight, but if it can't handle turn 3, then it ain't going to handle the rest of the track. Yeah. So GBM Beardy.
Jones is on the back of Jason, heading through turn 3.
Now, we have seen Jonesy be very attackive in many previous races, and I tell you what, Jason's car's looking like it's been attacked on a number of occasions. I don't think there's a window on that car that hasn't got a crack on it.
We've got Neotig as well up the inside of Woolhouse into turn 3. He's just breezed straight past Woolhouse as if he's standing still. So he's looking super quick at the moment. He's jumping all over the back of Dave the Art now. Dave's gone a touch wide. I think Neotig's going to be chomping all over the back of his rear wing.
He is. Now, Lielmo McElroy and Driver Montana, they've pulled away from these guys, so I don't know if something has happened that's dropped Dave the Harp and Neotig back.
Dave. Yeah.
He's not going to want to be on the inside.
Just enough room there to keep him in play. And a fast right-hander up over the hill. Dave's gone so wide, he's going to be in the Kittilit, and Neotig's gone, thank you very much. I'll have that place, thank you.
But yeah, I mean, Driver Montana and Lielmo McElroy, they have definitely pulled out quite a gap on Dave the Harp and Neotig, so I don't know if something happened between those guys. Jonesy's in the pits. That's very, very early. Hesselden's in 7th. His car looks like he's hit something hard. He's now down in 7th place.
And as I found out in Le Mans on Friday, as soon as I had a slight bump at the front end of the car, the top speed was diminished by at least 20 miles an hour, and I was just a sitting duck on the straight. So if that's happened to Hesselden, he needs to get in the pits.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I mean, the thing is, some people might wonder why it's affecting the top line speed. Well, it's a few effects, really. Aerodynamics, you've damaged the front end of the car, but also the radiators. The radiators are on the front of the car. If you've damaged the bodywork, you might be blocking them.
We've got Montana all over the back of Lielmo. He's going to have a little look up at the inside here, but Lielmo, is he turning in? Just giving enough space there for Montana, who's just sneaked through, but Lielmo, I don't think he's going to give this one up easy.
But if these two
I think Montana's through now.
If these two can not fight too much, they could perhaps begin to catch the cars ahead, but really we want to see cars battling as long as they're doing it without ramming each other off.
Yeah, I think Beardy and Livebright are going to be in a different postcode.
Sorry, James, having said that, I think Lielmo McElroy has just rammed off Driver Montana, but to be fair, he has slowed down and let him rejoin the circuit, and he's way ahead of him. So I think Lielmo McElroy got his braking a little bit wrong on that one. Jason's in the pits, Hesselden's in the pits. I'm surprised at how early, but then, what, it's potentially 4 or 5 laps, so maybe the tyres are going off very, very quick for these guys.
Yeah, they've been running on the softs thinking, oh, well, I'll have a decent first stint. If you're running on the softs and you've had a horrible first stint, there's nothing worse than feeling like, great, get on them hard tyres and let's see how far we can go now.
Yep, the thing is, if they go for another set of softs...
Neotig's just breezing straight past Lielmo if he's standing still.
Now, Dave the Harp was near Lielmo, but he's not anymore. Where is Dave? Dave's just coming around turn 1 now. I wonder if Dave's made a pit stop, perhaps. No, he's not dropped off enough to have done a pit stop. I think he's just had perhaps a bit of a bad lap somewhere.
Beard is still within touching distance of Livebright. Livebright cannot make a single mistake because Beard is going to be in there. I'm wondering when these two top front, or if they're just thinking, you know what, let's go around until these tyres literally die.
Well, whichever one of them pits first could effectively take the lead when the other one stops, but it's one of those things, if they're on the hard tyre, yeah, they may be able to go a few more laps. Okay, I've just been given a message saying that the internet connectivity is not very good at the moment, which is a little bit frustrating because speed tests before the session were very, very good. I tell you what I will do. On lap 15, I'm just going to shut the broadcast down and I shall restart it again.